Hello, YouTubers out there. This is the The-Boob-Wasteland-Show with your host, Jerry-Saravia. Today I'm briefly going to discuss The View once again. On The View, every once in a while there's a bit of controversy, and there certainly was this week. Mostly thanks to Elisabeth Hasselbeck. On Tuesday, November 15th of 2011, Elisabeth Hasselbeck and the View gang had their live episode, and of course, Bill Maher was a guest. And the issue came around a joke that Bill Maher told on Real Time with Bill Maher back in February of this year, of 2011. And was part of his new rules. And the joke goes, new rule, now that Hosni Mubarak has released Lara-Logan, he must put her intrepid hotness on a plane immediately. In exchange, we will send Elisabeth Hasselbeck. Well, if you recall, the show was on a Friday, and The View, that is Real Time Bill Maher show, was on a Friday. The View on Monday had a little discussion on this, and Elisabeth Hasselbeck said, Bill Maher, be a man, not a boy. Obviously, she was very offended by the joke. And a week later, Bill Maher didn't attack her, but I forget what he said. He made some sort of comment, of course, on a new rule, and I don't recall what that was. It was a while ago. Anyway, what happened was, of course, she was offended by the joke, but nobody could have anticipated what happened to Lara-Logan. Now, Lara-Logan, for those of you who don't know, is a South African television and radio journalist and a war correspondent. She's also the chief foreign affairs correspondent for CBS News and a correspondent for CBS's 60 Minutes. Now, she was there, of course, in Egypt, and there was a brutal sexual assault on February 11th in Tahrir Square, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and she was raped. And Bill Maher could not have anticipated that, and I don't think Bill Maher would have done the joke had he known this in advance, but of course how could he, because at the time he made the joke he was just saying Lara-Logan should just come home, because I guess he likes Lara-Logan and finds her intelligent, and I'm not sure that he finds Elisabeth Hasselbeck to be the same. Now, this past Tuesday, November 15th, Elisabeth Hasselbeck, of course, confronted Bill Maher because he was there to promote his new book, the New Rules book. And she said she clearly was wanting an apology of some kind. She said the joke just was not funny, but she was bringing up in reference to the fact that Lara-Logan was raped. Now, this was not part of the joke. You see, this was definitely not part of the joke because this happened a week later when Lara-Logan was raped. It did not happen while he was telling the joke. So he could not, again, have anticipated any sort of a backlash, and in particular coming from Elisabeth Hasselbeck, regarding that. So now that it's 7-8 months later, and she has an issue with the joke, but in regards to the fact that Lara-Logan was raped. So anyway, Bill Maher replied to her comments, of which she went on and on. She didn't stop. And he says, we do a comedy show, and I quote, we do a comedy show for an audience that's perhaps different than your audience, the View audience. You are a public figure. It was not aimed at you personally, but when you are a public figure, you are out there and you're fodder for comedians to make comments on. Now, apparently, Bill Maher on David-Letterman says that she may have a bone up her ass, but that despite the public feuding, Bill Maher likes Elisabeth. And he said, I quote, I like her a lot, and we have this relationship on TV where we play like we hate each other. So, Elisabeth, just to me, needs to get some sort of a sense of humor. I mean, I understand if she's offended by a joke. Sherry Shepherd seems to me is offended by just about everything. So all that leaves is Barbara Walters, who is sort of the mediator and will be recognizing the humor in almost anything, for the most part. So, Elisabeth, here's the thing. Please, enough is enough. You can't be badgering someone for a joke when the joke itself did not include the comments you made regarding Lara-Logan. That you can't do. And as Bill Maher said, it's typical Republican backlash. So here's the thing. This is what I think. On Wednesday, they had ex-porn star Sasha-Grey as a guest, and she was there to discuss about reading books to children in school as part of the READ program. Sherry Shepherd was not keen on Sasha-Grey, but I think by the end she understood, I assume anyway, what Sasha-Grey was all about. She's not apologetic about her porn past. And after all her porn, by the way, she appeared in a Steven Soderbergh film called The Girlfriend Experience, which may sound like a porn title, but it was not. She plays a female escort in that. And then she did an episode of Entourage. But she handled all the comments, particularly from Sherry Shepherd, with poise and elegance and some class, I believe. So here's a new rule that I've developed on the basis of Sasha-Grey, Elisabeth Hasselbeck. My own little new rule. It probably is no good, but hey, I'm going to give it a shot. New rule. Elisabeth Hasselbeck must learn she is no longer a voice of the Republican Party. She is only the voice of people who love The Bachelor. If she wants to carry on as the voice of popular TV dreck, she can fill in for Inside Edition, and we can take a closer look at Sasha-Grey as a replacement on The View. Frankly, Sasha had smarter things to say about our political climate and can take a beating from others with a sense of humor. Who would you prefer? So there you go. That's my new rule. And that's all I got to say on that. Elisabeth, please, cool off. Get a sense of humor. And Bill Maher, keep doing what you're doing. I don't find anything you ever say offensive, so there you have it. And this is the Boob-Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry-Saravia, signing off.